Hello and welcome to the W.B. Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. I'm Jim Sheehan, joined again by the head wrestling coach of the Hofstra Pride, Dennis Papadatos. Coach, the season is off and running with the Pride competing at the Princeton Open this past Sunday. Your assessment of the tournament?
When you're going through the event, at first there was a major improvement from last year, right? Like last year we left there with no one placing, and I felt like the world was falling, and maybe it was. So this year having 3 finalists, a champ, another guy a true freshman take 6, having 5 wins on the day, and so it was huge positives. But you had some results from people that you wanted better results from for whatever reason they kind of bring you down a little bit. And to be honest, we expected Ricky could win, and he did. I expected Sage could win, and he took second. We expected Zach to win. Like, when your brackets come out, I'm like, all right. So I'm glad that, listen, it's still tough to do. So the results were good. I felt like we probably were even a little better than we showed, but great improvement. And then after the dust settled and I got home and I started thinking about it yesterday, it definitely was a successful opening weekend.
Absolutely.
It was definitely a successful opening
Against
weekend.
the field, it was very competitive.
Yes. Do we want more? Yes. Are we capable of more? Yes. But I would say almost every team feels that same way from the first weekend. So at the end of the day, a success, and that's all you really hope for.
Let's talk about Ricky Stam winning at 165. How happy were you with that?
I was, his weight's getting back under control, and he's a trooper, and he's, local kid. It was nice. We had 2 local Nassau County kids that are 2 of our finalists. So I was happy for Ricky. Ricky is a trooper, and he goes about it, and he went out and he tried to score points even in the beginning when he didn't feel that great after he made weight. Got through about a match and a half of sluggishness, and then he went on a tear, and he was on a point scoring, shutting you down. He went after it. So I was excited for him to get this. He won a tournament when he redshirted as a true freshman. This is the first time he won a tournament in the Hofstra singles, so that's always good.
Sage Heller coming back from the injury last year, and you have to be happy with his results.
For sure. Good examples, just Ricky wrestled a really good kid in the semifinals who was a huge recruit. He's a true freshman, but he was like the number 2, number 3 overall recruit in the semis, and Ricky kind of beat him pretty well. I'm sure he's in our conference, that kid, so I'm sure he's trying to make progress, but that was a good win. In the finals, Sage had a kid that will be at Cornell. They're doing their redshirt thing, but he was the number 1 recruit in the country coming out of high school last year in the weight class. Sage was winning 2-0. We took him down and then got caught high and got a defensive fall. It happened in a minute. I would like to see what happened if the match went out. I feel like it was a winnable match, more than we expected to win it. But he made a mistake. He was pinned in a defensive fall, as we call it. So we'll make adjustments. So and he looked good up to that. Majoring, pinning, and taking everyone to the final. So he looked good.
Zachary Knighton Ward, we saw a lot of good things as a redshirt last year from him, and he has brought it into this season.
For sure, he looked great, and in the finals, he had a takedown that he didn't get. The kid kind of scrambled. I felt like if we got that takedown, it's a totally different match. All the kids' 10 points came out of one situation. The good thing about Zach didn't win. He wanted to win. He's upset that he didn't win. We feel like he was capable of winning even on that weekend, but we found a weakness. And now we're working on that weakness, which we've been, addressing Monday and Tuesday. So the kid exposed something that we need to work on. So I'd rather find out now in November.
Absolutely.
So we're working on it. So it's a positive there as well.
And Reese Heller, the freshman, the third of the Heller brothers to come, had an impressive opening.
100%. I mean, he had, some of those matches are against those club kids that don't count on your RPI, but he wrestled 6 matches on the day. He wasn't allowed to wrestle for fifth place after because once you wrestle 6 matches, the NCAA says that's a maximum for the day. So he went 5-1. He beat the kid that beat him earlier. That kid was beating him 9-1 in the first minute of the match, and he came all the way back and lost 12-11. And then they bumped into each other 4 matches later, and Reese beat him. Good rider kid. So that was positive. Having 4 pins, true freshman. He went out and scrapped. Same thing. We'll get his weights nice and settled, and he can go. It's nice to have him in the lineup.
Okay, I was going to say that the progression of tournaments coming gets tougher and tougher.
Yes.
But that was a good start for a tough tournament.
For sure. And hopefully we'll probably have 1 or 2 guys out next week. We suffer some bang up jobs, which is normal, but yeah, it will get tougher, and we'll put the guys out as healthy as possible.
Who else stood out in your mind?
Holden made one crucial mistake that cost him a match. two true freshmen that redshirted. Ross wrestled well. McFarland and Hoyle made the quarters and lost the two tough kids close. He looked good. For the most part, those guys probably stood out the most if I had to really think about it.
Okay, this week up in Troy, this coming Sunday at the Journeyman Collegiate Classic, what do you expect to see there?
Good kids, and same thing. Work on the adjustments. Help the good guys get better at some of the things they struggle with. Make some other adjustments. Wrestle who we have healthy, and come out with some good RPI wins as we get ready for the season keeps moving forward.
How many wrestlers are you bringing?
As of right now, 11.
11.
11, and there are 2 redshirts we're wrestling as well, so 13, but 11 that will be attached. Most likely, we have 2 guys that wrestled this week, another 13 that are 100% out per Andy, which is the right move. And then we should have 11, hopefully.
2 weeks away from our first home duel match against Air Force. Working your way, of course, we have the Journeyman and then the Army,
which is
tournament.
Tough, yes,
ahead. So a lot of wrestling to be had.
We're circling that event. We're trying to do everything we can to be as healthy as possible for that Air Force dual meet, and we need these matches. But we are not going to put people in harm's way. We got to make sure we're as healthy as possible for Air Force. So we're getting excited for that dual meet Thursday, November 21st, 7 p.m.
Yep. 1 week at a time, right?
1 week at a time.
All right. Well, good luck this week up at the Journeyman.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.